All right, here we are, lesson 1.3. This is where the meat of the lesson is solving equations. We're going to use properties of real numbers to help us solve equations. One property that you're going to use a lot is the addition property of equalities, and it says that the same number can be added to both sides of the equation. And the equivalent expressions, while they look different, they have the same value. They look different, they have the same value. So the whole thing that we're doing is we are making simpler equivalent expressions so that we can solve. All right, so let's look at an equation here. 3x minus 2 equals 5. The addition property says that I can add the same number to both sides of the equation. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides. I can do that. All right, that adds to 0, and then I have 3x is equal to 7. These two statements are equivalent. Equivalent. All right, that means they look different, but they have the same value. Same value, look different. Okay, why don't you try A down here, hit pause, and solve that equation using the addition property. If we do that, we're going to add 3 to both sides, which says that n equals 7. These are equivalent. Sorry, that looks real messy. Equivalent. All right. Just like we can add, now we can subtract as well. Okay, the subtraction property says that I can subtract the same number from each side. It's going to produce the same value, but it's going to look different. The whole purpose is to make simpler equivalent expressions on our way to solving. Some of them are one-step process, some of them are multi-step process. So this one says that I can subtract 2 from both sides, which leaves me, here I'm going to move that down just a little bit so it's more lined up. If I subtract 2 from both sides of the equation, then I'm left with x divided by 3 is equal to 3. And we'll learn another step that we can take to solve that even further. So go ahead and try C on this page or this slide. Hit pause and then come back and see if you got it right. So it's minus 5.5 on both sides. So we have m is equal to negative 5.3. Okay. The division property says that the same number can be divided on each side of the equal sign. And again, what are we trying to do? We're trying to make simpler equivalent expressions. Expressions that have the same value but look differently because they are simpler. All right, so if 3x is equal to 7, then I can divide both sides by 3. And then x equals 7/3. These are equivalent. And actually we've solved that one. Okay, has the same value, looks different. Equivalent expressions. Go ahead and try B on this slide. Hit pause. All right, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 5. And I get x is equal to negative 4. Okay, I made an equivalent expression. Negative 5x equals 20 is equivalent to x equals negative 4. The multiplication property says the same number can be multiplied to each side of the equation, and the equivalent expressions have the same value but look different. Catch on that theme. We are making our expressions be simpler. They look different, but they have the same value. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. These cancel, and I get x equals 9. Not only did I make an equivalent expression, but I also solved this one. Has the same value, but looks different. Okay, go ahead and solve D. 18 equals 1/2 of t. Go ahead and hit pause. In order to solve this one, you need to multiply both sides by 2. So that means 36 is equal to t. Not only did I solve it, but I made an equivalent expression. It's simpler, it's more to the point, it is actually a solution. Not every one of our problems tonight are going to, or our daily assignment tomorrow are going to be that simple. So there's some things that you want to go through and ask yourself as you proceed through problems. The first thing you want to look for is grouping symbols. Do I need to undo any grouping symbols? Do that first. Use distribution. Then look to see if you can combine like things. Like things live on the same side of the equal sign, okay? If you are looking at similar terms on opposite sides of the equal sign, then that is a move situation. You want to move them to the same side. Combining is what you do when things live on the same side of the equal sign. Moving is what you do when they don't live on the same side. Okay, and then after that, we're going to undo our coefficient by either multiplication or division. Here's our first problem. I'm going to do one with you, have you hit pause, you do 2, come back and see what you get. So here's our first one. I'm going to distribute first of all. That undoes the grouping symbols. So I get, let me go to my pen, 5x plus 15, we learned this earlier, plus 2 minus 2x, we learned this earlier, equals 14. I'm going to combine like things on this side. So I have 5x and negative 2x. That gives me 3x. Then I have 15 and 2 plus 17 is equal to 14. Okay, that is combine. Now I'm going to move. I'm going to subtract 17 from both sides, and I get 3x is equal to negative 3. That's the move by subtraction. And then I get x is equal to negative 1. That is by undoing, which is through division. So here I distributed, then I combined, then I moved, then I undid. Okay? So go ahead, hit pause, try number 2, and see what you get. All right, I'm going to distribute. 4x minus 2 is equal to 2 plus 12x plus 4. I'm going to move my 12x to the left. Well, let me combine first. I'll combine. And I get 4x minus 2 is equal to 12x plus 6. So this is distribute. Then I combined. Now I'm going to move. I'm going to move my 12x over so I get negative 8x. I'm going to move my 2 over equals 8. So again, x equals negative 1. Right? Now we're going to solve literal equations. This is no different than what we just did. So we're going to treat everything that's not the letter that we're solving for as like a constant. We're just going to undo it. We want to get r all by itself. So if I want to get r all by itself on 2 pi, c equals 2 pi r, well, I just have to divide both sides by 2 pi, right? So c divided by 2 pi is equal to r, right? Now we'll do number 8 together. I want to solve for b2. That's what I'm trying to get by itself. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this 1/2. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to get rid of this 1/2. I'm going to multiply both sides by 2, by 2, by 2, and so I get 2a is equal to b sub 1 plus b sub 2 over, times h. Now I need to get rid of this h. How do I undo multiplication by h? Well, I'm going to divide by h. So that means I'm going to go 2a divided by h. I'm going to divide this side by h. They're going to cancel, is equal to b1 plus b2. How do I get b2 all by itself? I want this alone. What am I going to do? I'm going to subtract off b1. So I get 2a divided by h is not equal to, erase, minus b1 is equal to b2, and you're done. You solve for b sub 2. Alrighty, these are the problems that we're going to work on tomorrow in class. If you want to get a jump start, go for it. Remember, Quizlet is due on Friday, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for listening.